They grabbed some shrapnel out of them and made it cause the trouble. And that's where I met up. In the tent, there was a big tent, a marquee had been stretched across the tennis court of this lovely old home. And that was the recuperative area after the surgeons had finished with you. We were getting better, and the nursing sister who looked after me was a Sister Gunther, lovely lady, Sister Gunther, attended to in charge of about 60 or 80 blokes, working their butt off, never stopped, never left us alone, never rested. Pat Gunther got home after, that's another story, but he got on the Finer Brook and was shipped out of Singapore to was taken prisoner of war in Sumatra. But that's probably getting off the track. But I can talk to you about, best to talk to Pat Darling about that. Yeah. Darling now, but her name was Gunther at that time. She married, of course, and as is common with women, they changed their name to that of the husband.
Yes.
Same has happened to all of us. But I've been very, very well. I've spoken to Pat Darling now on many occasions. She's living in Sydney at Boston, and a lovely lady. She's 93 years of age, I think she is now. But her brain's as sharp as a tack. She's a very gracious girl.
Now, where were you when the Allies capitulated?
I was in the Cathay building in Singapore, which was the what do you call it, recovery area for the 2nd 10th AGH hospital. The Cathay building was the tallest building in Singapore. The ground floor was a picture theatre. First floor was a restaurant, and above that were offices, and then private residences above that again. In the Cathay building, there was a picture theatre, then there was a restaurant, big restaurant, and then above that was the offices. In the picture theatre, they had a asbestos cement roof, and one of our chaps was sitting there in the dress circle waiting to be dispatched to his unit. A shell came through and struck the balustrade of this theatre and killed 12 blokes, right? Just came straight through the roof, hit this balustrade, and these fellows were sitting around waiting to be dispatched, and they were all killed. One shell was very successful for the Japanese. I remember being in this canteen area, or yes, we were in outside the window, the well of the building, light wells through the building. The Japanese were shelling it. And it was terrifying to be in this building. Every time a shell would hit it, the building seemed to shake and tremble. And the superstructure of the building above came crashing down through the light wells, and filling the place with dust, of course. And it was terrifying to think that this building was going to collapse. There was so much of the building falling down through the light wells, you think it's going to fall to pieces any tick of the clock. But when the shelling stopped, one of the shells had gone outside, the shells had struck the theatre, I said. Alongside in the restaurant area, outside there was the driveway, back driving dock, where the goods were shifted up to keep the restaurant supplied with liquor and food. And a team of British soldiers had been sent into the liquor store to smash all the liquor in the restaurant reserves, and they were hurling cases of liquor, scotch, brandy, God knows what, out of the windows, smashing the pieces on the concrete ramp. And the odours of this beautiful liquor was drifting up, wafting through the windows of the floor that we were on. It was what a bloody great waste. All the beautiful liquor being smashed to pieces and the enemy dying for a job.
Can I just hold you there? Yeah.
And the smashing was lit on the driveway. Dreadful waste. But at that time, I know there was a party sent around to collect the bullion from the banks in Singapore. And this bullion was taken out on a boat out to sea and dumped. All the gold and the gold was all taken out of the banks in Singapore and dumped it on the compass bearing, which would be recovered after the war. Some of my friends were on the party that took it out to sea. I found out. I didn't know about this, of course, until later when I was back out in Jangi camp. And we knew this happened. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that reported.
I've not heard about it. No.
Logical.
Yeah.
And the notes that were in the banks, like the fellas on the party. They turned up in Singapore and out in Jangi camp with millions and millions of dollars of paper money.
Yes, yeah.
And they even lay, the biggest money I've ever seen in my life is laid down on the 2 up games we started out there.
Now what did you do in Singapore between capitulation in February 42 and April 1943 when you went off on your journey to Thailand?
My first party, I went about the second party to go out of Singapore on a working party. And they were camped in Ireland in Caldecott Estate. This is one of the well-to-do areas of Singapore. The Japanese were building a shrine on Bakatima Hill, and the party that I was on was Caldecott Estate, where we camped in the night. It was a great place, plenty of food. Only trouble was the sewer lines had been buggered up a bit because of the bombing that had taken place, but that was a pretty good camp. But they used to get out early in the mornings and we'd take it out in trucks to Bakatima. The work was pretty hard. We were building the steps. If you've ever been to Singapore, you know the steps. I think they call it now another name. I just forget the name of it now. But they built this great monument at the level, the top of this hill, Bakatima. All the spoil was thrown down off the side of the hill, and they reduced it so they had a level area on the top, about the size of half the size of Sydney cricket ground. When in the middle of this they stuck their great big totem pole with the Japanese characters on it. Behind it was a Christian cross was erected by our side. Or we built a lot of it, but there was I was working on building the concrete steps that take us up to the top of the hill. That was bloody hard work. The steps, I think, were 10 metres wide. Everything was mixed by hand, sand, cement and metal. I think they were the 3 heaviest things in the world, and water. It was all mixed by hand, and the formwork would put you fill it up, and you gradually have to work it up the hill. And that was a hell of a job. But they're still there, the steps are still there. They had changed the name of it now from Bakatima to Bucket. I'm not sure. Pulo? Don't know. Last time I was in Singapore, we went out to have a look at them, and the Sikh guard that took us out, he knew them. They have changed the name of it from Bakatima. Steps.
So you when you mentioned you were in Caldecott Hill,
yeah.
Were you there? Did you know Guy Baker when you were there?
No. Yes, I did know Guy.
Yeah.
Guy was